In ancient times, animals were far more than mere companions or sources of sustenance. They were sacred intermediaries, carrying messages between humanity and the divine. Picture the soaring eagles of Mesopotamia, their wings slicing through the heavens as messengers of the gods, or the revered cats of Egypt, whose graceful movements were seen as reflections of celestial harmony. Across civilizations, animals were deeply embedded in spiritual rituals, their presence shaping the very essence of belief systems. But why did ancient cultures place such profound importance on fauna? What did these creatures symbolize, and how did their roles in rituals influence the spiritual lives of entire societies? Today, we'll uncover the hidden threads that connect animals to the sacred practices of the past, exploring their symbolic meanings, the rituals they inspired, and the cultural significance they held. By the end of this journey, you'll see how these ancient connections still resonate in surprising ways today. Let's dive into the world where animals were not just living beings, they were bridges to the divine. In ancient Egypt, animals were far more than symbols, they were living manifestations of the divine. Take the cat, for example. To the Egyptians, these graceful creatures were not just pets or pest controllers. They were sacred vessels of Bastet, the goddess of home, fertility, and protection. Killing a cat, even accidentally, was considered a grave offense punishable by death. This reverence wasn't just cultural, it was spiritual. Cats were believed to carry the essence of Bastet herself, their calm demeanor and watchful eyes embodying her protective energy. Temples dedicated to Bastet often housed sacred cats cared for by priests and worshipped by the people. But cats weren't the only animals seen as divine. Falcons, too, held a place of honor. Soaring high above the Nile, falcons were linked to Horus, the god of the sky and kingship. Their keen eyes and majestic flight mirrored Horus's power, and they became symbols of divine authority. Pharaohs often adopted the falcon as a representation of their connection to the gods, with Horus himself depicted as a falcon-headed deity. The rituals surrounding these animals were as elaborate as they were meaningful. From the mummification of sacred cats to the offerings made at falcon shrines, every act was steeped in reverence. Egyptians believed that by honoring these animals, they could draw closer to the gods they embodied. The mummification process, for instance, wasn't just about preserving the body. It was a spiritual act, ensuring the animal's divine energy could continue to bridge the gap between the mortal and the divine. This deep connection between fauna and faith reveals how the Egyptians saw the natural world as inseparable from the spiritual realm. Their rituals remind us that, for them, animals weren't just part of the landscape. They were divine messengers carrying the sacred into the everyday. In Mesoamerican cultures, snakes were far more than creatures of the earth. They were living symbols of cosmic balance, embodying the eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth. At the heart of this symbolism was Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent deity, whose very form blended the serpent's earthly wisdom with the bird's celestial grace. Quetzalcoatl wasn't just a god, he was a bridge between worlds, representing the duality of creation and destruction, chaos and order. This duality was mirrored in the way snakes themselves were perceived, both feared and revered, embodying the paradox of danger and renewal. Their ability to shed their skin made them powerful emblems of transformation, a reminder that endings are often the precursors to new beginnings. This deep symbolism was woven into every aspect of Mesoamerican life, from grand architectural designs to intimate spiritual rituals. Temples and pyramids were often adorned with serpent motifs, their coiled forms carved into stone as if to guard sacred spaces. The Temple of the Feathered Serpent in Teotihuacan stands as a testament to this reverence, its walls alive with images of Quetzalcoatl, his serpentine body entwined with feathers, symbolizing the union of earth and sky. These structures weren't just places of worship, They were physical manifestations of a worldview that saw the natural and spiritual realms as inseparable. Rituals, too, were deeply influenced by the serpent symbolism. Ceremonial dances often featured performers adorned with snake-like costumes, their movements mimicking the sinuous flow of these creatures. These dances weren't mere performances, they were acts of devotion meant to channel the transformative energy of the serpent and invoke the presence of Quetzalcoatl. Offerings of flowers, jade, and even live snakes were made to honor the deity, each gesture a plea for balance and renewal in a world where life and death were constantly intertwined. But why did snakes hold such a paradoxical place in Mesoamerican spirituality? On one hand, their venomous nature made them objects of fear and caution. On the other, their ability to shed their skin and emerge renewed made them symbols of hope and regeneration. This duality reflects a broader understanding of the universe, one where opposites coexist in a delicate equilibrium. Life and death, creation and destruction, fear and reverence, these were not seen as contradictions but as complementary forces, each necessary for the other to exist. The snake's role in Mesoamerican spirituality reminds us of the profound ways ancient cultures saw the natural world as a mirror of the divine. Through their rituals and art, they sought to align themselves with the rhythms of the cosmos, finding meaning in the cycles of nature. Even today, the image of the feathered serpent endures, a timeless symbol of transformation and the enduring connection between humanity and the sacred. In the heart of ancient Mesopotamia, where the Tigris and Euphrates rivers carved life into the arid landscape, bulls stood as towering symbols of strength and divine authority. These majestic animals were more than just beasts of burden. They were living embodiments of power, revered as guardians of sacred spaces and intermediaries between humanity and the gods. Gods like Enlil, the ruler of the heavens, and Marduk, the patron deity of Babylon, were often depicted with bull-like imagery, their divine might mirrored in the animal's imposing presence. But why did the Mesopotamians hold bulls in such high regard? The answer lies in the way they saw these creatures, not just as physical beings, but as vessels of cosmic energy, their sheer strength and stability reflecting the order and protection the gods provided. Bulls played a central role in Mesopotamian rituals where their power was harnessed to honor the divine. Sacrificial ceremonies often featured bulls as offerings, their lives given as a gesture of devotion and a plea for divine favor. These sacrifices weren't acts of violence but profound expressions of faith, intended to strengthen the bond between the mortal and the divine. The bull's blood, believed to carry life force, was sometimes used to anoint sacred objects or temple walls, a ritual act meant to infuse these spaces with divine energy. Even the act of sacrificing a bull was seen as a reenactment of cosmic battles, where gods triumphed over chaos to bring order to the world. Temples, too, were adorned with bull imagery, their walls and gates often guarded by colossal bull statues known as lamashu. These hybrid creatures, with the body of a bull and the wings of an eagle, weren't just decorative. They were protectors, warding off evil spirits and ensuring the sanctity of sacred spaces. The lamashu's dual nature, combining the bull's earthly strength with the eagle's celestial reach, symbolized the Mesopotamian belief in a universe where the divine and the natural were intricately connected. Walking through a temple gate flanked by these statues, worshippers would have felt the palpable presence of divine power, a reminder of the gods' protection and the stability they brought to the world. The bull's significance extended beyond the physical realm, too. In Mesopotamian art and literature, bulls were often used as metaphors for kingship and authority. Kings, seen as earthly representatives of the gods, frequently associated themselves with bulls, adopting their imagery to convey their own strength and legitimacy. This connection wasn't just symbolic, it was a way of aligning human authority with the divine order, reinforcing the idea that the ruler's power was sanctioned by the gods themselves. This deep reverence for bulls reveals how the Mesopotamians saw the natural world as a reflection of the divine. The bull's strength, stability, and protective nature weren't just animal traits, they were divine qualities woven into the fabric of their spiritual understanding. Through rituals, art, and architecture, the Mesopotamians honored these creatures as living links to the gods, their presence a constant reminder of the sacred order that governed their world. Even today, the legacy of the sacred bull endures, a testament to the enduring power of these ancient symbols and the profound ways they shaped human spirituality. In Hinduism, the elephant is more than just an animal, it's a living symbol of divine wisdom and strength, embodied most powerfully by Ganesha, the beloved elephant-headed deity. Known as the remover of obstacles, Ganesha is one of the most widely worshipped gods in the Hindu pantheon. His image instantly recognizable with his large ears, curved trunk, and gentle demeanor. But why an elephant? What is it about these majestic creatures that made them such a fitting symbol for a god of wisdom and new beginnings? The answer lies in the unique qualities of elephants themselves, their intelligence, their memory, and their ability to navigate even the most challenging terrains with grace and determination. These traits made them the perfect embodiment of Ganesha's role as a guide and protector, helping devotees overcome life's obstacles with patience and insight. Elephants play a central role in Hindu rituals and festivals, their presence elevating sacred ceremonies to a grander, more profound level. During temple processions, elephants are often adorned with elaborate decorations, brightly colored fabrics, intricate jewelry, and floral garlands, transforming them into living symbols of divine energy. These processions aren't just displays of beauty, they're acts of devotion meant to honor the gods and invite their blessings. The slow, deliberate movements of the elephants mirror the meditative pace of spiritual reflection, reminding participants to approach life with patience and reverence. One of the most famous festivals featuring elephants is the Trisha Puram in Kerala, where these gentle giants take center stage. Lined up in rows, their tusks gleaming and their heads swaying to the rhythm of traditional music, elephants become living conduits of divine energy. Devotees believe that being near these sacred animals during such festivals brings prosperity and removes obstacles, a belief rooted in Ganesha's own role as the remover of barriers. The festival is a vivid reminder of the deep connection between humans, animals, and the divine, a harmony that has been celebrated for centuries. Beyond their role in festivals, elephants also symbolize prosperity and abundance in Hinduism. Their sheer size and strength make them natural emblems of power, while their gentle nature reflects the importance of compassion and humility. Ganesha himself is often depicted with a bowl of sweets in one hand, symbolizing the rewards of wisdom and perseverance, and a broken tusk in the other, a reminder of sacrifice and the need to prioritize spiritual growth over material desires. This duality, strength paired with gentleness, wisdom balanced by humility, captures the essence of what elephants represent in Hindu spirituality. The reverence for elephants in Hinduism goes beyond their physical presence. It's a reflection of a broader worldview that sees the natural world as deeply interconnected with the spiritual realm. Elephants, with their intelligence and social bonds, remind us of the values that define a harmonious life: community, respect, and the pursuit of knowledge. Through rituals, art, and storytelling, Hinduism celebrates these qualities, offering a timeless lesson in the power of wisdom and the importance of living in balance with the world around us. As we reflect on the role of elephants in Hindu spirituality, it's clear that these animals are more than just symbols, they are teachers, guiding us toward a deeper understanding of life's challenges and the strength we carry within ourselves to overcome them. Their presence in temples and festivals is a testament to the enduring bond between humans and nature, a connection that continues to inspire and uplift millions around the world. In the frost-kissed realms of Norse mythology, where gods and giants clashed in an eternal dance of creation and destruction, wolves held a place of profound significance. These creatures were not mere animals, they were symbols of raw power, embodying both chaos and protection in a world where the line between life and death was razor-thin. At the heart of this duality were Odin's two wolves, Geri and Freki, whose names mean the ravenous and the greedy. These loyal companions were more than just pets, they were extensions of Odin himself, representing his insatiable hunger for knowledge and his role as a guide to the afterlife. But wolves in Norse mythology weren't just associated with the divine, they were also linked to the wild, untamed forces of nature, forces that could both destroy and protect. One of the most striking examples of this duality is Fenrir, the monstrous wolf destined to break free during Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods. Fenrir was both a symbol of inevitable chaos and a reminder of the gods' own limitations. His binding by the gods was a desperate attempt to stave off destruction, but it also highlighted the fragility of order in the face of nature's raw power. This tension between chaos and control is a recurring theme in Norse spirituality, where wolves served as constant reminders of the delicate balance between creation and destruction. Wolves also played a crucial role in rituals, particularly those tied to warriors and the afterlife. Norse warriors, known for their ferocity and bravery, often saw themselves as embodying the spirit of the wolf. They wore wolf pelts into battle, believing the animal's strength and cunning would protect them and strike fear into their enemies. This practice wasn't just about physical protection. It was a spiritual act, a way of aligning themselves with the primal forces of nature. In death, too, wolves were seen as guardians. The great wolf Garma, said to guard the gates of hell, the realm of the dead, symbolized the boundary between life and death, a reminder that even in the afterlife, the presence of the wolf was inescapable. But why did the Norse venerate wolves, creatures often associated with danger and destruction? The answer lies in their understanding of the natural world. Wolves, with their pack mentality and fierce loyalty, mirrored the values of Norse society: strength, unity, and the willingness to face the unknown. At the same time, their wildness represented the chaos that constantly threatened to unravel the fabric of their world. This duality made wolves not just animals but powerful metaphors for the human experience, where every act of creation carries the potential for destruction, and every moment of protection is shadowed by the specter of chaos. Through their myths and rituals, the Norse people acknowledged the complexity of their relationship with the natural world. Wolves weren't just feared or revered, they were understood as essential to the balance of life. Their presence in stories and ceremonies served as a reminder that even the most fearsome forces of nature have a role to play in the grand tapestry of existence. In the howl of the wolf, the Norse heard not just a warning, but a call to embrace the wildness within themselves, to find strength in the face of uncertainty, and to honor the delicate balance that binds all living things. In the sun-drenched landscapes of ancient Greece, where the gods were believed to walk among mortals, birds soared as sacred messengers, bridging the heavens and the earth. Eagles, with their piercing gaze and majestic flight, were seen as the chosen companions of Zeus, king of the gods. Owls, silent and wise, were closely tied to Athena, the goddess of wisdom and strategy. Even ravens, with their dark plumage and sharp intelligence, were revered as heralds of Apollo, the god of prophecy. These birds weren't just part of the natural world, they were divine interpreters, carrying the will of the gods to those who knew how to listen. The practice of augury, or interpreting the flight and behavior of birds, was a cornerstone of Greek spirituality. Augurs, the priests trained in this ancient art, would carefully observe the skies, noting the direction of a bird's flight, the patterns of its wings, and even the sounds it made. A sudden swoop of an eagle or the cry of an owl could be seen as a direct message from the gods offering guidance, warnings, or blessings. This wasn't mere superstition. It was a deeply ingrained belief that the gods communicated through the natural world, using birds as their intermediaries. Birds also played a central role in Greek myths, their presence often signaling pivotal moments in the stories of gods and heroes. Take the tale of Prometheus, for instance. As punishment for stealing fire from the gods and giving it to humanity, Prometheus was chained to a rock where an eagle would feast on his liver each day. The eagle, in this context, wasn't just a creature of torment. It was a symbol of divine justice, a reminder of the consequences of defying the gods. Similarly, the owl's association with Athena wasn't just symbolic, it was practical. Owls were said to appear on the battlefield, their presence a sign of Athena's favor and a promise of victory. Rituals, too, were steeped in avian symbolism. Before important decisions or battles, Greeks would often consult the birds, seeking signs of divine approval. Temples dedicated to Apollo, the god of prophecy, were frequently adorned with images of ravens, their presence a nod to his role as a communicator of divine truths. Even in everyday life, the sight of certain birds could inspire awe or caution. A flock of crows circling overhead might be interpreted as a bad omen, while the sight of an eagle soaring high could be seen as a blessing from Zeus himself. But why did birds hold such a prominent place in Greek spirituality? The answer lies in their ability to move between realms, soaring high into the heavens, yet always returning to the earth. This duality made them perfect symbols of the connection between the mortal and the divine. Their flight patterns, seemingly random to the untrained eye, were seen as a language of the gods, a way of communicating truths that transcended human understanding. The Greeks' reverence for birds reveals a worldview where the natural and the spiritual were deeply intertwined. Through augury, myths, and rituals, they sought to decode the messages carried by these winged messengers, finding meaning in their movements and sounds. This connection wasn't just about divination, it was about understanding their place in a universe governed by the gods. The next time you hear the call of a bird or watch it glide across the sky, remember the ancient Greeks who saw in these creatures not just animals but sacred links to the divine. In the ancient faith of Zoroastrianism, where fire and light were seen as symbols of divine truth, cows held a place of unparalleled reverence. These gentle creatures were far more than livestock. They were living symbols of purity, fertility, and abundance, woven into the very fabric of spiritual life. The sacred texts of Zoroastrianism, known as the Avesta, speak of the cow as a gift from Ahura Mazda, the supreme god, embodying the virtues of creation and sustenance. To harm a cow was not just a crime against nature, it was a sin against the divine order itself. But what made cows so central to Zoroastrian spirituality? The answer lies in their dual role as providers and protectors, their presence a constant reminder of the sacred balance between humanity and the natural world. Cows played a vital role in Zoroastrian rituals, their care considered a spiritual duty as much as a practical one. The act of tending to a cow was seen as a form of worship, a way of honoring the life-giving energy they represented. Milk, butter, and other dairy products were not just staples of the diet, they were sacred offerings, used in ceremonies to invoke blessings from the gods. Even the humble cow dung, often used as fuel and fertilizer, was revered for its life-sustaining properties, symbolizing the cycle of renewal and the earth's ability to nurture life. Sacrifices, too, were deeply tied to the cow's symbolic significance. Unlike in some traditions where animal sacrifice was seen as an act of destruction, Zoroastrian rituals emphasized the cow's role as a mediator between the human and divine realms. When a cow was sacrificed, it wasn't just an offering, it was a sacred exchange, a way of returning life's gifts to the gods in gratitude. The cow's body, believed to carry divine energy, was treated with the utmost respect, its parts used in rituals to purify and protect. The ethical dimensions of this reverence are particularly striking. Zoroastrianism placed a strong emphasis on the responsible stewardship of nature, teaching that humans had a duty to protect and care for all living beings. Cows, as symbols of abundance and purity, became a focal point for these teachings. To harm a cow was to disrupt the harmony of creation, while caring for one was seen as an act of devotion, aligning the caretaker with the divine will. This worldview reflects a profound understanding of the interconnectedness of all life, a belief that the well-being of humans, animals, and the earth were inseparable. The legacy of the sacred cow in Zoroastrianism offers a timeless lesson in the ethical and spiritual dimensions of human-animal relationships. It reminds us that animals are not merely resources to be exploited but partners in the shared journey of life. Through their rituals and teachings, the Zoroastrians showed us how reverence for the natural world can inspire a deeper sense of responsibility and connection. Even today, their reverence for the cow stands as a powerful testament to the enduring bond between humanity and the creatures we share this earth with. In the dense jungles of ancient Mesoamerica, where the shadows of towering trees seem to stretch endlessly, the jaguar reigned supreme. To the Maya, this elusive predator wasn't just the king of the jungle, it was a guardian of the underworld, a creature that moved effortlessly between the realms of life and death. With its piercing eyes and silent, powerful strides, the jaguar embodied the mysteries of the night, a time when the veil between worlds grew thin. But why did the Maya hold this fierce animal in such high regard? What made the jaguar a symbol of both terror and reverence in their spiritual practices? The answer lies in the animal's unique ability to navigate darkness, its strength, and its transformative power qualities that resonated deeply with the Maya's understanding of the cosmos. Jaguars were more than just animals to the Maya, they were spiritual allies, their presence woven into the fabric of royal and religious life. Kings and rulers often adorned themselves with jaguar pelts or incorporated jaguar imagery into their regalia, a practice meant to channel the animal's strength and authority. These rulers weren't just political leaders, they were seen as intermediaries between the human and divine realms, and the jaguar's symbolism reinforced their connection to the underworld and the gods who dwelled there. During royal ceremonies, the jaguar's image would be invoked to signify the ruler's power to protect and guide their people, much like the jaguar itself protected the sacred balance of the jungle. Shamans, too, held a profound connection to the jaguar. In rituals designed to commune with the spirit world, shamans would often enter trance states, believing they could transform into jaguars to traverse the boundaries of the underworld. This belief in the jaguar's ability to navigate the realms of the living and the dead made it a powerful symbol of transformation and regeneration. The animal's association with the night further deepened its significance as the Maya saw the darkness not as something to fear, but as a space of potential and renewal. The jaguar's ability to thrive in this liminal space made it a guide for those seeking to understand the cycles of life, death, and rebirth. This connection to transformation is perhaps most vividly captured in the Maya's art and architecture. Temples and pyramids were often adorned with jaguar motifs, their fierce visages carved into stone as if to guard the sacred spaces they adorned. The Temple of the Jaguar in Tikal, for example, stands as a testament to this reverence, its walls alive with images of jaguars that seem to leap from the stone, their eyes watching over the rituals performed within. These structures weren't just places of worship, they were portals to the divine, designed to evoke the jaguar's protective energy and its role as a bridge between worlds. But the jaguar's significance went beyond its role as a guardian or a symbol of power. For the Maya, this animal was also a teacher, embodying the lessons of adaptability and resilience. Just as the jaguar moved silently through the jungle, navigating the challenges of its environment with grace and strength, the Maya saw in this creature a model for how to live in harmony with the natural and spiritual worlds. The jaguar's ability to hunt in the darkness, to move unseen and unheard, was a reminder of the importance of intuition and inner strength, qualities that the Maya valued deeply in their own spiritual practices. Through their rituals, art, and cosmology, the Maya celebrated the jaguar as a living symbol of the sacred balance that governed their world. Its presence in their spiritual life reveals a profound understanding of the interconnectedness of all things, a belief that the natural world was not separate from the divine but a reflection of it. The jaguar's role as a guardian, protector, and guide reminds us that for the Maya, the animal kingdom was not just a part of their world. It was a source of wisdom, a mirror of the divine, and a key to understanding the mysteries of existence. In the vibrant tapestry of Hindu spirituality, few creatures capture the essence of devotion and strength quite like the monkey. Central to this reverence is Hanuman, the beloved monkey god, whose tales of loyalty and courage have inspired millions for centuries. Hanuman isn't just a deity, he's a symbol of unwavering devotion, embodying the qualities of selflessness, perseverance, and boundless energy. But why did monkeys, through Hanuman, become such powerful figures in Hindu tradition? The answer lies in their unique ability to mirror human emotions and behaviors, making them relatable yet extraordinary symbols of divine virtues. Hanuman's story is one of profound devotion and service. As a devoted follower of Lord Rama, Hanuman played a pivotal role in the epic Ramayana, using his immense strength and intelligence to aid Rama in rescuing his wife Sita from the demon king Ravana. Hanuman's leap across the ocean to reach Lanka, his ability to carry an entire mountain of healing herbs, and his fearless courage in the face of danger are more than just legendary feats. They are lessons in the power of faith and the importance of selfless action. These qualities have made Hanuman a beloved figure, worshipped not just for his strength but for his humility and dedication. Monkeys, through Hanuman's legacy, are celebrated in numerous Hindu rituals and festivals. One of the most significant is Hanuman Jayanti, the festival marking Hanuman's birth. Devotees gather at temples offering prayers, flowers, and sweets to honor the monkey god. The air is filled with the chanting of Hanuman Chalisa, a hymn that recounts his heroic deeds and invokes his blessings. For many, this festival is more than a celebration. It's a reminder of the values Hanuman represents: loyalty, courage, and the transformative power of devotion. The connection between monkeys and the divine goes beyond Hanuman himself. In Hindu tradition, monkeys are often seen as playful yet wise creatures, their behavior reflecting the duality of human nature, our capacity for mischief and our potential for greatness. Temples dedicated to Hanuman often have resident monkeys, their presence seen as a blessing and a reminder of the god's enduring influence. These monkeys are treated with respect and care, their playful antics viewed as a living embodiment of Hanuman's energy and spirit. But the reverence for monkeys in Hinduism isn't just about their symbolic role, it's also a reflection of a broader worldview that sees all life as interconnected. The care and respect shown to monkeys in temples and festivals highlight the belief that every creature, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, carries a spark of the divine. This perspective encourages a sense of harmony and responsibility, reminding us that our actions toward animals reflect our spiritual values. Hanuman's enduring popularity and the reverence for monkeys in Hindu culture offer a powerful lesson in the transformative power of devotion. Through his stories and the rituals that honor him, we're reminded that true strength lies not in physical power alone, but in the willingness to serve others with humility and love. The next time you see a monkey, whether in a temple or in the wild, consider the lessons they embody: lessons of loyalty, courage, and the boundless potential of the human spirit when guided by faith. In the sun-scorched deserts and fertile valleys of ancient Persia, where empires rose and fell like the shifting sands, the lion stood as an unshakable symbol of power and divine authority. To the Persians, this majestic creature wasn't just the king of the beasts. It was a living emblem of royal might, a guardian of the throne, and a bridge between the earthly and the divine. Lions were more than animals. They were reflections of the king's own authority, their strength and ferocity mirroring the qualities expected of a ruler. But how did lions come to hold such a central place in Persian culture? The answer lies in their dual role as protectors and symbols, their presence woven into the very fabric of Persian art, ritual, and governance. At the heart of this reverence was the lion's association with kingship. Persian rulers often used lion imagery to reinforce their legitimacy, adorning their palaces, thrones, and insignia with depictions of these powerful animals. The lion's imposing presence served as a constant reminder of the king's role as protector and enforcer of order. In the grand halls of Persepolis, for example, lion motifs adorned the walls, their fierce visages carved into stone as if to guard the empire itself. These depictions weren't merely decorative, they were declarations of the king's divine right to rule, a visual language that conveyed strength, stability, and the blessings of the gods. Lions also played a significant role in Persian rituals, particularly those tied to royal ceremonies. During coronations, the imagery of lions was often invoked to symbolize the transfer of power from the divine to the mortal realm. The new king, crowned under the watchful gaze of lion statues or banners, was seen as stepping into a role blessed by the gods, his authority affirmed by the very creatures that embodied their strength. Even in battle, the lion's symbolism was ever present. Persian warriors carried shields and banners emblazoned with lion imagery, believing that the animal's spirit would protect them and strike fear into their enemies. This connection between lions and divine authority extended to Persian mythology as well. In Zoroastrian tradition, lions were sometimes linked to Mithra, the god of covenants and light, who was often depicted as a lion-headed figure. Mithra's association with the lion reinforced its role as a protector and enforcer of divine order, a creature that stood at the intersection of the mortal and the sacred. This dual symbolism of both earthly power and divine favor made the lion an enduring symbol of leadership and protection, its image a constant presence in the lives of the Persian people. But the lion's significance wasn't limited to its role as a symbol of kingship. In Persian art, lions were also depicted in scenes of hunting, a popular motif that carried its own spiritual meaning. These hunting scenes weren't just displays of royal prowess, they were metaphors for the king's ability to vanquish chaos and maintain order. The lion, as both hunter and protector, embodied the balance between destruction and creation, a theme that resonated deeply in Persian spirituality. The reverence for lions in ancient Persia reveals a profound understanding of the natural world's connection to the divine. These animals weren't just symbols, they were living reminders of the qualities that defined leadership and the sacred responsibilities that came with it. Through their art, rituals, and mythology, the Persians celebrated the lion as a guardian of both the throne and the cosmic order, its presence a testament to the enduring bond between humanity, nature, and the gods. Even today, the image of the lion endures as a symbol of strength and authority, a legacy of the ancient Persian worldview that saw the natural world as a mirror of the divine. Their story reminds us that, in the eyes of the ancients, animals were never just animals, they were messengers, protectors, and teachers, guiding humanity toward a deeper understanding of its place in the universe. In the shimmering waters of the Mediterranean, where the ancient Greeks sailed under the watchful gaze of Poseidon, dolphins danced as living symbols of harmony and divine favor. These intelligent, playful creatures were far more than marine animals, they were messengers of the sea god himself, embodying the delicate balance between humanity and the natural world. The Greeks saw dolphins as protectors of sailors, guides through treacherous waters, and even as companions to gods and heroes. But why did dolphins hold such a special place in Greek spirituality? The answer lies in their unique behavior, their grace, their apparent joy, and their ability to navigate the vast, unpredictable sea with ease. To the Greeks, these traits made dolphins not just animals, but sacred beings, bridging the gap between the human and divine realms. One of the most famous myths involving dolphins is the story of Dionysus, the god of wine and revelry. According to legend, Dionysus was once captured by pirates who, unaware of his divine nature, planned to sell him into slavery. When Dionysus revealed his true power, he transformed the pirates into dolphins, condemning them to live out their days in the sea. These dolphins, now imbued with divine energy, became protectors of sailors, guiding ships to safety and ensuring safe passage across Poseidon's domain. This myth reflects the Greeks' belief in the dolphin's dual nature, both playful and protective, a creature of joy and a guardian of the seas. Dolphins also played a central role in Greek art and rituals. Vases, mosaics, and sculptures often depicted dolphins leaping gracefully alongside ships or accompanying gods and heroes. These images weren't just decorative, they were expressions of reverence, a way of honoring the dolphin's sacred role in Greek life. Temples dedicated to Poseidon frequently featured dolphin motifs, their fluid forms carved into stone as if to capture the essence of the sea itself. These artistic representations served as reminders of the dolphin's protective presence, their playful energy a symbol of the harmony that could exist between humans and nature. For sailors, dolphins were more than just symbols, they were lifelines. The sight of dolphins swimming alongside a ship was considered an omen of good fortune, a sign that Poseidon favored the voyage. Sailors believed that dolphins could guide them through storms, lead them to safe harbors, and even warn them of approaching danger. This belief wasn't just superstition. It was a testament to the deep connection the Greeks felt with the natural world. Dolphins, with their intelligence and apparent willingness to interact with humans, became living embodiments of that connection, their presence a reassurance that the gods were watching over them. But the reverence for dolphins went beyond their practical role as protectors. In Greek culture, dolphins were also symbols of joy, freedom, and the boundless possibilities of the sea. Their playful behavior, leaping and diving with effortless grace, was seen as a reflection of the divine harmony that governed the cosmos. The Greeks believed that by honoring dolphins, they could align themselves with that harmony, fostering a sense of balance and unity in their own lives. This connection to dolphins reveals a profound understanding of the natural world's spiritual significance. For the Greeks, dolphins weren't just animals. They were teachers, reminding humanity of the importance of living in harmony with the forces of nature. Through their myths, art, and rituals, the Greeks celebrated these creatures as sacred messengers, their presence a constant reminder of the beauty and mystery of the sea. Even today, the image of the dolphin endures as a symbol of joy and protection, a legacy of the ancient Greek belief that the natural world is not separate from the divine, but a reflection of it. In the misty forests and rolling hills of ancient Celtic lands, where the veil between worlds was believed to be thin, the deer emerged as a creature of profound spiritual significance. Graceful and swift, these animals were more than just inhabitants of the wild. They were living symbols of renewal, intuition, and the delicate balance between the physical and spiritual realms. To the Celts, the deer was a guide, a messenger, and a reflection of the natural cycles that governed their world. But what was it about the deer that inspired such reverence? The answer lies in its ethereal presence, its ability to move silently through the forest, and its connection to the goddess Flidais, the divine protector of wildlife and the untamed earth. Flidais, often depicted as a goddess of the forest, was intimately linked to deer, her chariot said to be drawn by these majestic creatures. She embodied the nurturing and wild aspects of nature, her presence a reminder of the interconnectedness of all living things. The deer, as her sacred animal, became a symbol of her power, graceful yet strong, gentle yet untamed. This duality resonated deeply with the Celts, who saw in the deer a reflection of their own relationship with the natural world, one that required both respect and understanding. Deer also played a central role in Celtic rituals and seasonal festivals, their symbolism woven into the fabric of spiritual life. During Samhain, the festival marking the end of the harvest and the beginning of winter, deer were seen as guides to the other world, their presence a reminder of the thin boundary between life and death. As the Celts believed that the spirits of their ancestors walked the earth during this time, the deer's ability to navigate the forest with ease made it a fitting symbol of transition and transformation. Similarly, during Beltane, the festival of fertility and new beginnings, deer were celebrated as emblems of renewal, their antlers symbolizing growth and the cyclical nature of life. The deer's role as a spiritual guide extended beyond festivals. In Celtic mythology, stories of deer leading heroes to hidden springs or sacred groves abound, their movements seen as signs from the gods. These tales reflect a belief that the natural world was alive with divine messages, and that animals like the deer could act as intermediaries, guiding humans toward wisdom and enlightenment. The deer's ability to vanish into the forest only to reappear moments later was seen as a metaphor for the mysteries of the spiritual realm, always present yet just beyond human understanding. But the deer's significance wasn't limited to its role in myths and rituals. Its presence in Celtic art and symbolism reveals a deeper understanding of the cycles of life and death. The shedding and regrowth of a deer's antlers each year mirrored the Celts' belief in renewal and rebirth, a reminder that even in the darkest times, life persists. This cyclical view of existence was central to Celtic spirituality, and the deer, with its seasonal transformations, became a living embodiment of this philosophy. The Celtic reverence for deer offers a timeless lesson in the sacredness of the natural world. Through their myths, rituals, and art, the Celts celebrated the deer not just as an animal, but as a teacher, guiding them toward a deeper understanding of life's rhythms and the interconnectedness of all things. The next time you see a deer grazing in a meadow or disappearing into the woods, consider the ancient wisdom it carries, a reminder of grace, renewal, and the enduring bond between humanity and the wild. In the sun-baked marshes of ancient Egypt, where the Nile's life-giving waters flowed through the heart of civilization, the crocodile reigned as a creature of awe and reverence. Both feared and respected, these formidable predators were more than just inhabitants of the river. They were living symbols of power, fertility, and the untamed forces of nature. At the center of this duality was Sobek, the crocodile-headed god, whose fierce yet protective nature embodied the Nile's dual role as a source of life and destruction. To the ancient Egyptians, the crocodile wasn't just an animal, it was a divine force, a guardian of the waters, and a reflection of the delicate balance between creation and chaos. Sobek, often depicted with the head of a crocodile and the body of a man, was one of the most complex deities in the Egyptian pantheon. He was both a god of fertility, ensuring the Nile's annual flood that nourished the land, and a fearsome protector, warding off chaos and evil. Temples dedicated to Sobek, such as the Grand Complex at Kam Ombo, were places of worship and reverence where live crocodiles were kept in sacred pools, cared for by priests and honored as living manifestations of the god. These temples weren't just religious sites, they were centers of community life, where rituals and offerings sought to appease Sobek and secure his blessings for the harvest and the kingdom. The rituals surrounding crocodiles were as elaborate as they were symbolic. During ceremonies, priests would adorn the sacred crocodiles with gold and jewels, their bodies treated as vessels of divine energy. Offerings of food, drink, and incense were made to ensure Sobek's favor, and festivals celebrated his role in maintaining the balance of the natural world. One such festival, the Feast of Sobek, involved processions where a sacred crocodile was paraded through the streets, its presence a reminder of the god's power and the community's reliance on the Nile's bounty. These rituals weren't just acts of devotion, they were expressions of gratitude for the river's life-giving force and the crocodile's role as its guardian. But the connection between crocodiles and the divine went beyond temple worship. The practice of mummifying crocodiles reveals just how deeply these creatures were embedded in Egyptian spirituality. Crocodile mummies, carefully preserved and wrapped in linen, have been found in large numbers, particularly in the Fayum region, where Sobek's cult was especially strong. These mummies weren't just offerings to the god, they were believed to carry Sobek's essence into the afterlife, serving as eternal guardians and intermediaries between the mortal and divine realms. The care taken in their preservation reflects the Egyptians' belief that even in death, crocodiles retained their sacred power, a testament to the enduring bond between the animal and the divine. This duality of creation and destruction, protection and ferocity, made the crocodile a powerful symbol in Egyptian art and iconography. Images of Sobek often depict him holding the ankh, the symbol of life, in one hand and a scepter, representing power, in the other. These depictions highlight his role as a god who could both give and take life, a reminder of the Nile's unpredictable nature and the need to respect its power. Crocodiles also appeared on amulets and jewelry, their image believed to offer protection and strength to those who wore them. The Egyptian reverence for crocodiles reveals a profound understanding of the natural world's dualities. Through their rituals, art, and mythology, the ancient Egyptians celebrated these creatures not just as animals, but as sacred forces that embodied the complexities of existence. The crocodile's presence in their spiritual life reminds us that, to the ancients, the natural world was never just a backdrop, it was a living, breathing part of the divine, a source of both fear and reverence, destruction and renewal. Even today, the legacy of Sobek and the sacred crocodile endures, a testament to the enduring power of these ancient symbols. Their story invites us to reflect on our own relationship with the natural world, to see in its creatures not just animals, but reminders of the delicate balance that sustains us all. The crocodile, with its ancient ties to the Nile and the gods, remains a powerful symbol of the mysteries and majesty of life itself. Across the vast plains and rugged landscapes of North America, the horse emerged as a transformative force in Native American spirituality. Introduced by Spanish explorers in the 16th century, horses quickly became more than just tools of transportation. They were revered as living symbols of freedom, power, and the untamed spirit. For many tribes, the horse was a sacred gift, a bridge between the earthly and spiritual realms, and a companion that carried not just bodies but souls. But what was it about these majestic animals that inspired such deep reverence? The answer lies in their ability to embody the ideals of movement, strength, and unity, qualities that resonated profoundly with the spiritual worldview of Native American cultures. In the mythology of the Lakota, the horse was closely tied to the sun, a celestial force that brought light, life, and energy to the world. The sun, often personified as a divine being, was believed to ride across the sky on a radiant horse, its golden mane streaming like the rays of dawn. This imagery wasn't just poetic. It was a reflection of the horse's role as a spiritual guide, a creature that could traverse great distances and connect the physical world with the sacred. For the Lakota, horses were more than animals. They were extensions of the sun's power, their presence a reminder of the divine energy that flowed through all creation. Horses also played a central role in healing ceremonies, where their strength and vitality were seen as conduits for spiritual renewal. Among the Navajo, for example, the horse chant was a sacred ritual performed to restore balance and harmony to those who were sick or suffering. During the ceremony, the patient would be symbolically ridden by the spirit of the horse, a process believed to cleanse the body and soul of illness. The horse's energy, while yet nurturing, was thought to carry away negative forces, leaving behind a sense of peace and renewal. These rituals highlight the deep connection between horses and the natural cycles of life, death, and rebirth, a connection that was central to Native American spirituality. But the spiritual significance of horses extended beyond their role in myths and rituals. They were also seen as teachers, embodying lessons of courage, loyalty, and the interconnectedness of all life. A horse's ability to move freely across the land, unbound by fences or borders, made it a powerful symbol of independence and resilience. At the same time, its strong social bonds and loyalty to its herd reflected the values of community and cooperation that were central to Native American life. These dual qualities of freedom and unity made the horse a fitting emblem of the balance that Native Americans sought to maintain in their relationship with the natural world. The reverence for horses is perhaps most vividly captured in the art and storytelling of Native American cultures. Images of horses adorned everything from tipis to clothing, their forms painted or stitched with care to honor their spiritual significance. Stories of horse-mounted warriors and hunters carried lessons of bravery and wisdom, their adventures serving as metaphors for the challenges and triumphs of life. Even today, the image of a galloping horse remains a powerful symbol of the enduring spirit of Native American cultures, a reminder of the values they hold dear. This deep connection to horses reflects a broader understanding of the natural world as a living, spiritual entity. For Native Americans, horses weren't just animals, they were partners in the journey of life, their presence a constant reminder of the sacred bond between humanity and the earth. Through their myths, rituals, and art, Native American cultures celebrated these creatures as guides and guardians, their symbolism a testament to the profound ways in which fauna can shape our spiritual lives. The story of the sacred horse invites us to reflect on our own relationship with the natural world. In the hoofbeats of a galloping horse, we hear not just the sound of freedom, but a call to honor the interconnectedness of all living things. The Native American reverence for these majestic animals reminds us that, in the eyes of the ancients, the natural world was never just a resource, it was a sacred gift, a source of wisdom, and a mirror of the divine. In the sunlit groves and sacred temples of ancient Greece, where the whispers of the gods seemed to echo through the air, bees buzzed as more than just industrious insects. They were living symbols of divine inspiration and communal harmony. Revered for their tireless work and intricate social structure, bees were seen as messengers of the gods, their presence a reminder of the delicate balance that governed both nature and human society. But why did the Greeks hold these tiny creatures in such high regard? The answer lies in their unique ability to mirror the ideals of unity, creativity, and the sacred connection between the earthly and the divine. Bees were closely linked to Apollo, the god of light, music, and prophecy, and to the Muses, the goddesses of the arts and sciences. Apollo himself was sometimes called the Lord of the Bees, and his temple at Delphi, home to the famous oracle, was said to have been founded after a swarm of bees led a group of priests to the sacred site. This connection between bees and prophecy wasn't just symbolic, it was deeply rooted in the Greek belief that bees carried divine messages, their buzzing a form of celestial communication. The Pythia, the oracle of Delphi, was even referred to as the Delphic bee, her prophecies seen as gifts from the gods delivered through the sacred language of these winged messengers. The symbolism of bees extended beyond their role as divine intermediaries. In Greek mythology, bees were often associated with the concept of community and the importance of working together for the greater good. Just as a beehive thrives through the collective effort of its members, Greek society valued cooperation and shared purpose. This idea was reflected in the way bees were depicted in art and literature, their hives serving as metaphors for the ideal city-state, where every individual contributed to the harmony and prosperity of the whole. Rituals honoring bees were woven into the fabric of Greek spiritual life. Offerings of honey, a precious gift from the bees, were made to the gods in ceremonies and festivals. Honey's golden sweetness wasn't just a culinary delight, it was a sacred substance believed to carry the essence of the divine. In some traditions, honey was used to anoint statues of the gods or to sweeten the air during religious rites, its fragrance a way of invoking the presence of the divine. The act of tending to bees was also seen as a form of spiritual practice, a way of aligning oneself with the rhythms of nature and the wisdom of the cosmos. But the connection between bees and the divine went even deeper. The Greeks saw in the behavior of bees a reflection of the harmony that governed the universe. The way bees worked together, their precise and orderly movements, and their ability to transform nectar into honey were seen as microcosms of the cosmic order. Philosophers like Aristotle wrote extensively about bees, marveling at their intelligence and social structure, which he believed mirrored the ideal human society. This fascination with bees wasn't just scientific, it was spiritual, a way of understanding the interconnectedness of all life and the divine principles that guided it. The Greek reverence for bees offers a timeless lesson in the sacredness of community and creativity. Through their myths, rituals, and art, the Greeks celebrated these creatures not just as insects but as teachers, reminding humanity of the power of unity and the importance of living in harmony with the natural world. Their story invites us to reflect on our own relationship with the environment and the creatures that share it with us, to see in the humble bee not just a pollinator but a messenger of the divine. As we explore the spiritual significance of bees in ancient Greece, we're reminded that even the smallest creatures can carry profound wisdom. The buzzing of a bee, the sweetness of its honey, and the harmony of its hive are more than just natural phenomena. They are echoes of a deeper truth, a reminder that the sacred is often found in the places we least expect. In the bustling streets and grand temples of ancient Rome, where gods and mortals walked side by side, dogs stood as steadfast symbols of loyalty and guardianship. These faithful companions were more than just pets, they were protectors of the home, guides to the afterlife, and living embodiments of virtues that Romans held dear. But what made dogs so central to Roman spirituality? The answer lies in their unwavering loyalty, their keen senses, and their role as intermediaries between the worlds of the living and the dead. Dogs were closely associated with Mercury, the swift-footed messenger god who guided souls to the underworld. Just as Mercury carried the prayers of the living to the gods and the spirits of the dead to their final rest, dogs were seen as earthly guardians, their watchful eyes and vigilant presence offering protection against both physical and spiritual threats. This connection wasn't just symbolic, it was deeply woven into Roman rituals and beliefs. In funerary practices, dogs were often depicted on tombstones and sarcophagi, their images serving as guardians of the deceased, ensuring safe passage to the afterlife. Some Roman families even buried their dogs alongside loved ones, a testament to the belief that these animals could accompany and protect their human companions beyond the grave. The role of dogs in Roman mythology further underscores their spiritual significance. One of the most famous tales involves the three-headed dog Cerberus, the fearsome guardian of the underworld. While Cerberus was a creature of myth, his role as a protector of the boundary between life and death resonated deeply with Roman values. dogs, like Cerberus, were seen as boundary keepers, their presence a reminder of the thin line between the mortal and the divine. This duality of protector and guide made dogs powerful symbols in Roman art and iconography. Statues of dogs often adorned homes and public spaces, their forms carved with care to honor their role as guardians of both the physical and spiritual realms. But the reverence for dogs went beyond their mythical and ritualistic roles. In everyday life, dogs were valued for their loyalty and companionship, qualities that mirrored the ideals of Roman society. The bond between a Roman and their dog was seen as a reflection of the values of fidelity and duty, virtues that were central to the Roman worldview. This connection is vividly captured in the story of the legendary dog of Mount Vesuvius, who stayed by his master's side during the eruption, refusing to leave even as the world crumbled around them. Such tales of devotion reinforced the idea that dogs were not just animals, they were moral exemplars, their actions embodying the highest ideals of Roman culture. The Roman reverence for dogs also found expression in their art and literature. Mosaics and frescoes often depicted dogs in scenes of domestic life, their presence a symbol of stability and protection. In literature, dogs were celebrated for their intelligence and loyalty, their virtues held up as models for human behavior. Even in the military, dogs played a role, their keen senses and bravery used to guard camps and detect enemies. These practical uses only deepened the spiritual connection, as Romans saw in their working dogs not just tools but partners in the shared journey of life. This deep connection between dogs and Roman spirituality reveals a profound understanding of the natural world's role in shaping cultural values. Through their myths, rituals, and art, the Romans celebrated dogs not just as animals but as sacred beings, their presence a constant reminder of the virtues that bound their society together. The loyalty of a dog, the way it stood by its master through thick and thin, was more than just a trait. It was a lesson in the power of devotion and the importance of protecting what matters most. As we reflect on the role of dogs in ancient Rome, we're reminded that these creatures were more than just companions. They were teachers, their lives a testament to the enduring bond between humans and the animals they hold dear. In their watchful eyes and steadfast hearts, the Romans saw not just loyalty, but a reflection of their own highest ideals, a reminder that even in the face of life's uncertainties, there is always something worth protecting. In the mist-shrouded mountains and dense forests of ancient China, the tiger prowled as a living emblem of power, protection, and the delicate balance of yin and yang. This majestic creature, with its fierce gaze and commanding presence, was far more than a predator. It was a guardian of the natural world and a symbol of cosmic harmony. In Chinese spirituality, the tiger's role extended beyond the physical realm, weaving itself into the fabric of myths, rituals, and even martial arts. But what made the tiger such a profound symbol in Chinese culture? The answer lies in its ability to embody both strength and balance, qualities that resonated deeply with the spiritual ideals of harmony and duality. One of the most striking aspects of the tiger's symbolism is its connection to the god of wealth, Kashan. Often depicted riding a black tiger, Kashan was believed to bring prosperity and good fortune to those who honored him. The tiger, in this context, wasn't just a mount. It was a protector, ensuring that wealth was safeguarded and distributed justly. This association between tigers and prosperity highlights their role as guardians, not just of the physical world, but of the spiritual well-being of individuals and communities. Temples dedicated to Kashan frequently featured tiger imagery, their fierce visages carved into walls and altars as a reminder of the god's protective power. But the tiger's significance didn't stop at wealth and protection. In Chinese mythology, the tiger was one of the four symbols representing the West and the season of autumn. Alongside the dragon, phoenix, and tortoise, the tiger symbolized one of the cardinal directions and the forces of nature associated with it. Known as the white tiger, this celestial creature was seen as a guardian of the heavens, its presence ensuring the balance of cosmic energies. The white tiger's role in mythology reflects the broader Chinese belief in the harmony of opposites, the idea that light and dark, strength and gentleness, and life and death must coexist in equilibrium. This balance is also evident in the tiger's connection to yin and yang, the fundamental concept of dualities in Chinese philosophy. The tiger, with its fierce strength and nurturing instincts, embodies the interplay of these forces. Its ferocity represents yang, the active, masculine energy, while its role as a protector of the young reflects yin, the receptive, feminine energy. Together, these qualities make the tiger a living symbol of the harmony that underpins the natural world. The tiger's influence extended into the realm of martial arts, where its movements and spirit inspired techniques and philosophies. In styles like Tiger Kung Fu, practitioners sought to emulate the tiger's power, agility, and precision, channeling its energy to enhance their own strength and focus. This connection between the tiger and martial arts wasn't just physical, it was spiritual. By embodying the tiger's essence, martial artists believed they could tap into its protective and balancing qualities, aligning themselves with the rhythms of the natural world. Rituals honoring tigers were deeply woven into Chinese spiritual life. During festivals and ceremonies, tiger masks and costumes were used to invoke the animal's strength and protective energy. These rituals weren't just performances, they were acts of devotion, meant to honor the tiger's role as a guardian and to seek its blessings for health, prosperity, and harmony. Even in everyday life, the image of the tiger was a common talisman, appearing on clothing, jewelry, and household items as a symbol of protection and good fortune. The Chinese reverence for tigers reveals a profound understanding of the interconnectedness of life. Through their myths, rituals, and art, the Chinese celebrated these creatures not just as animals, but as sacred beings that embodied the ideals of balance, strength, and protection. The tiger's presence in their spiritual life reminds us that, to the ancients, the natural world was never just a backdrop. It was a living, breathing part of the divine, a source of both fear and reverence, destruction and renewal. As we explore the spiritual significance of tigers in Chinese culture, we're reminded of the enduring power of these ancient symbols. Their story invites us to reflect on our own relationship with the natural world, to see in its creatures not just animals but teachers and guardians. The tiger, with its ancient ties to wealth, protection, and harmony, remains a powerful symbol of the mysteries and majesty of life itself. High above the snow-capped peaks and dense forests of the Norse world, ravens soared as more than just birds. They were the eyes and voice of Odin himself. These dark-winged creatures, with their sharp intelligence and piercing gaze, were revered as sacred messengers, bridging the realms of the living and the divine. In Norse mythology, ravens weren't just animals. They were symbols of wisdom, prophecy, and the mysteries that lay beyond human understanding. But what made these birds so central to the spiritual life of the Norse? The answer lies in their connection to Odin, the All-Father, and their role as guides to the unseen world. Odin's two ravens, Hugin and Munin, whose names mean thought and memory, were more than just companions. They were extensions of the god's own consciousness. Each day, they would fly across the 9 realms, gathering knowledge and returning to whisper what they had learned into Odin's ear. This daily journey wasn't just a mythic tale. It was a reflection of the Norse belief in the raven's ability to traverse the boundaries between worlds, their flight a metaphor for the pursuit of wisdom and the interconnectedness of all things. For the Norse, ravens were more than birds. They were living links to the divine, their presence a reminder that knowledge was not confined to the mortal realm. On the battlefield, ravens held a particularly potent symbolism. warriors often saw these birds as omens, their presence signaling the favor of the gods. Ravens were believed to carry the souls of the fallen to Valhalla, Odin's great hall where they would feast and prepare for Ragnarok, the final battle. This connection between ravens and the afterlife made them powerful symbols of fate and destiny, their dark wings a reminder of the thin line between life and death. The sight of ravens circling above a battlefield wasn't just a natural occurrence, it was a spiritual moment, a sign that the gods were watching and that the fallen were being guided to their final rest. But the raven's role extended beyond the battlefield. In rituals and divination, these birds were seen as conduits for prophecy, their behavior interpreted as messages from the gods. The Norse believed that the flight patterns, calls, and even the number of ravens present could reveal hidden truths about the future. This practice, known as augury, wasn't just superstition. It was a deeply spiritual act rooted in the belief that the natural world was alive with divine messages. Ravens, with their keen intelligence and mysterious behavior, were seen as perfect interpreters of these messages, their presence a way for humans to glimpse the will of the gods. The symbolism of ravens also reflected the Norse understanding of the cyclical nature of life and death. Like the wolves and serpents of their mythology, ravens embodied the duality of creation and destruction. They were scavengers feeding on the remains of the dead, yet they were also symbols of renewal, their presence a reminder that death was not an end but a transformation. This duality made ravens powerful metaphors for the mysteries of existence, their flight a symbol of the journey from one state of being to another. Through their myths, rituals, and art, the Norse celebrated ravens as sacred beings, their presence a constant reminder of the interconnectedness of life, death, and the divine. The next time you see a raven perched on a branch or soaring through the sky, consider the ancient wisdom it carries, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there is always a path to understanding, guided by the unseen forces that shape our world. In the quiet waters of early Christian communities, where faith was often practiced in secret, the fish emerged as a powerful symbol of hope, abundance, and divine grace. This humble creature, found in rivers, lakes, and seas, became more than just a source of sustenance. It was a living emblem of Christ's teachings and the unity of believers. But why did fish hold such a central place in early Christian spirituality? The answer lies in their dual symbolism of faith and renewal, qualities that resonated deeply with the values of the burgeoning Christian movement. One of the most iconic uses of the fish symbol is the ichthys, a simple drawing of a fish that served as a secret marker among early Christians. The word ichthys, Greek for fish, was also an acronym, Isus Christos Theouios Sota, meaning Jesus Christ, Son of God, Savior. In a time when Christians faced persecution, the fish symbol became a covert way to identify fellow believers, a quiet declaration of faith that carried profound spiritual meaning. This connection between fish and Christ wasn't just symbolic, it was deeply woven into Christian rituals and art, their presence a constant reminder of the transformative power of faith. Fish played a particularly significant role in baptismal practices, where water itself was seen as a conduit for divine grace. Early Christians often conducted baptisms in natural bodies of water, and the presence of fish in these waters added a layer of spiritual symbolism. Just as fish moved freely through the water, so too were believers invited to embrace a new life in Christ, their baptism a rebirth into a community of faith. This imagery of renewal and freedom was further reinforced by Jesus' own words when he called his disciples to become fishers of men, inviting them to spread the message of salvation far and wide. The symbolism of fish extended to the Eucharist as well, where they were sometimes used as a symbol of Christ's sacrifice and the abundance of God's grace. In early Christian art, depictions of the miraculous multiplication of loaves and fishes served as a reminder of God's provision and the spiritual nourishment offered through Christ. These images weren't just decorative, they were theological statements, reinforcing the idea that faith could transform scarcity into abundance and that the divine was present in even the simplest elements of life. But the connection between fish and early Christianity wasn't limited to rituals and symbols. Fish also appeared in stories and parables, their behavior offering lessons for believers. The story of Jonah, for example, who was swallowed by a great fish and later released, became a powerful metaphor for repentance and second chances. This narrative, like so many others, highlighted the idea that even in the depths of despair, God's grace could lead to redemption and renewal. The Christian reverence for fish reveals a profound understanding of the natural world's spiritual significance. Through their symbols, rituals, and stories, early Christians celebrated these creatures not just as animals, but as sacred teachers, embodying the ideals of faith, abundance, and transformation. The fish's presence in their spiritual life reminds us that for the ancients, the natural world was never just a backdrop. It was a living, breathing part of the divine, a source of both sustenance and inspiration. As we reflect on the role of fish in early Christianity, we're reminded of the enduring power of symbols to convey deep truths. The humble fish, with its ancient ties to faith and renewal, remains a testament to the ways in which the natural world can illuminate our spiritual journey. In its quiet swim through the waters, we see not just an animal, but a reflection of the divine grace that flows through all of creation. In the dense forests and rugged mountains of North America, where the rhythms of nature shaped the lives of its people, the bear stood as a towering symbol of strength, healing, and the sacred bond between humanity and the earth. For many Native American tribes, the bear was far more than a powerful animal. It was a spiritual guide, a healer, and a living embodiment of the natural world's wisdom. Revered for its physical might and its deep connection to the earth, the bear became a central figure in myths, rituals, and healing practices. Its presence a reminder of the balance that must be maintained between humans and the environment. Bears were often associated with shamans, spiritual leaders who acted as intermediaries between the physical and spiritual realms. In many tribes, shamans were believed to draw their power from the bear, their ability to heal and guide their communities seen as a reflection of the bear's own strength and intuition. This connection wasn't just symbolic, it was deeply personal. Shamans would often invoke the spirit of the bear during healing ceremonies, calling on its energy to restore balance and harmony to those who are ill or suffering. The bear's hibernation, a time of deep rest and renewal, was seen as a metaphor for the process of healing, a reminder that even in times of stillness, there is potential for transformation. One of the most striking examples of the bear's role in Native American spirituality is the bear dance, a ceremonial practice performed by tribes like the Ute and Shoshone. This dance, held in the spring, was both a celebration of the bear's awakening from hibernation and a ritual of renewal for the community. Participants would mimic the movements of the bear, their steps and gestures designed to honor the animal's strength and to invite its blessings for the coming year. The bear dance wasn't just a performance, it was a spiritual act, a way of aligning the community with the natural cycles that govern their lives. The symbolism of bears extended beyond their role in rituals. In Native American mythology, bears were often depicted as teachers, their behavior offering lessons in resilience, introspection, and the importance of living in harmony with the earth. The story of the bear mother, found in the traditions of the Tlingit and Haida peoples, illustrates this beautifully. In this tale, a woman marries a bear and gives birth to bear human children who grow up to teach their human relatives the ways of the forest. This story, like many others, highlights the bear's role as a bridge between the human and natural worlds. its wisdom a gift to those who sought to live in balance with the environment. But the bear's significance wasn't limited to its role in myths and ceremonies. Its physical presence in the natural world made it a symbol of the earth's power and abundance. Bears were seen as guardians of the land, their survival a reflection of the health of the ecosystem. This connection between bears and the environment reinforced the belief that humans had a responsibility to protect and care for the natural world, a lesson that resonates deeply in today's conversations about conservation and sustainability. The Native American reverence for bears reveals a profound understanding of the interconnectedness of all life. Through their myths, rituals, and art, Native American cultures celebrated these creatures not just as animals, but as sacred beings that embodied the ideals of strength, healing, and balance. The bear's presence in their spiritual life reminds us that, for the ancients, the natural world was never just a backdrop. It was a living, breathing part of the divine, a source of both fear and reverence, destruction and renewal. As we reflect on the role of bears in Native American spirituality, we're reminded of the enduring power of these ancient symbols. Their story invites us to consider our own relationship with the natural world, to see in its creatures not just animals but teachers and guardians. The bear, with its ancient ties to strength, healing, and the earth, remains a powerful symbol of the mysteries and majesty of life itself. In the rugged landscapes of ancient Greece, where rocky cliffs and wild meadows stretched as far as the eye could see, goats roamed as more than just animals. They were living symbols of fertility, vitality, and the untamed forces of nature. Revered for their strength, agility, and connection to the wilderness, goats became integral to Greek spirituality, their presence woven into the fabric of myths, rituals, and daily life. But what made these hardy creatures so deeply significant to the Greeks? The answer lies in their embodiment of primal energy and their role as intermediaries between the civilized world and the wild, untamed spirit of the earth. At the heart of this reverence was Pan, the god of shepherds, flocks, and the untamed wilderness. Often depicted with the horns and legs of a goat, Pan was a figure of both fear and fascination, his presence evoking the raw, untamed aspects of nature. Goats, as his sacred animals, carried this same duality. They were symbols of fertility and abundance, yet also reminders of the wild, unpredictable forces that lay beyond human control. Pan's connection to goats wasn't just symbolic, it was deeply spiritual. In rituals honoring Pan, goats were often sacrificed, their lives given as offerings to appease the god and to seek his blessings for the fertility of the land and its people. These rituals weren't acts of violence but profound expressions of reverence, a way of acknowledging the power of the natural world and humanity's place within it. The goat's association with fertility extended beyond Pan. In the Dionysian festivals, which celebrated the god of wine, ecstasy, and rebirth, goats played a central role. These festivals, known for their exuberant dances and wild revelry, often featured goat imagery, their presence a nod to the primal energy that Dionysus himself embodied. Participants in the festivals would sometimes wear goat skins or masks, their transformation into goat-like figures a way of channeling the animal's vitality and connection to the earth. The goat's role in these celebrations highlights its symbolism as a creature of renewal and transformation. Its energy a reminder that life, like the seasons, is a cycle of death and rebirth. This duality of the goat, both a symbol of fertility and a representation of the wild, was also reflected in Greek art and mythology. In the story of Amalthea, the goat who nursed the infant Zeus, we see the goat's nurturing side, its role as a provider and protector. Yet, in the tale of the satyrs, goat-like beings known for their wild, mischievous behavior, we're reminded of the goat's untamed spirit. These contrasting images reveal the Greeks' complex relationship with the natural world, a relationship that celebrated both the nurturing and the chaotic aspects of existence. Goats also appeared in everyday life, their practical uses intertwined with their spiritual significance. Goat milk and cheese were staples of the Greek diet, their production seen as a gift from the gods. The goat's ability to thrive in harsh environments made it a symbol of resilience and adaptability, qualities that the Greeks admired and sought to emulate. In this way, the goat was more than just an animal, it was a teacher, its life a lesson in the importance of living in harmony with the land. The Greek reverence for goats reveals a profound understanding of the interconnectedness of all life. Through their myths, rituals, and art, the Greeks celebrated these creatures not just as animals, but as sacred beings that embodied the primal energy of the earth. Their presence in Greek spirituality reminds us that, for the ancients, the natural world was never just a resource, it was a source of wisdom, a mirror of the divine, and a reminder of the wild, untamed spirit that lies at the heart of existence. As we reflect on the role of goats in ancient Greece, we're reminded of the enduring power of these ancient symbols. Their story invites us to consider our own relationship with the natural world, to see in its creatures not just animals but teachers and guides. The goat, with its ancient ties to fertility, vitality, and the wild, remains a powerful symbol of the mysteries and majesty of life itself. In the rugged hills and sprawling plains of ancient Rome, where legends of gods and heroes shaped the identity of an empire, the wolf emerged as a powerful symbol of strength, protection, and destiny. No creature captures the essence of Rome's founding myth quite like the she-wolf who nurtured Romulus and Remus, the twin brothers destined to build one of history's greatest civilizations. But the wolf's significance in Roman spirituality goes far beyond this iconic tale. These majestic animals were revered as guardians of the state, their presence woven into the fabric of Roman rituals, art, and civic life. What was it about wolves that made them such enduring symbols of Roman identity? The answer lies in their dual role as protectors and progenitors, embodying the values of loyalty, resilience, and the indomitable spirit of Rome itself. The story of Romulus and Remus is more than just a myth. It's a cornerstone of Roman identity. According to legend, the twins were abandoned as infants and left to die by the Tiber River. But fate had other plans. A she-wolf, drawn by their cries, found the brothers and nursed them back to health. Her act of compassion and protection became a defining moment in Roman history, symbolizing the nurturing yet fierce spirit that would come to define the empire. The wolf's role in this story wasn't just about survival, it was about destiny. Romulus, inspired by the wolf's strength, would go on to found Rome, establishing a city that would grow into a global power. The she-wolf, in this context, became a living emblem of Rome's origins, her image immortalized in statues, coins, and mosaics as a reminder of the city's divine beginnings. This connection between wolves and the state extended beyond mythology. In Roman art, wolves were frequently depicted as symbols of protection and civic pride. The famous Capitoline wolf statue, with its striking portrayal of the she-wolf and the twins, became an enduring symbol of Rome's strength and unity. Wolves also appeared on military standards and shields, their fierce visages meant to inspire courage and loyalty among soldiers. This imagery wasn't just decorative, it was a statement of values, a way of reinforcing the idea that Rome, like the wolf, was a protector and a force to be reckoned with. Rituals and ceremonies further underscored the wolf's sacred role in Roman society. During the festival of Lupercalia, held in mid-February, priests known as luperci would don wolf skins and run through the streets, striking onlookers with strips of goat hide. This ritual, though seemingly strange to modern eyes, was deeply symbolic. The wolf skins represented the nurturing and protective qualities of the she-wolf, while the act of running through the city was believed to purify the community and ensure its prosperity. Lupercalia wasn't just a celebration of Rome's founding. It was a reaffirmation of the wolf's role as a guardian of the state and its people. But the wolf's symbolism wasn't limited to its role as a protector. In Roman culture, wolves were also seen as symbols of independence and resilience. Their ability to thrive in the wild, to hunt in packs, and to fiercely defend their territory mirrored the qualities that Romans admired in themselves. The wolf's pack mentality, in particular, resonated with the Roman emphasis on unity and loyalty, values that were central to the empire's success. This connection between wolves and Roman virtues was so strong that even the word Lupercal, the sacred cave where Romulus and Remus were said to have been nursed, became synonymous with the idea of protection and community. The Roman reverence for wolves reveals a profound understanding of the natural world's role in shaping cultural identity. Through their myths, rituals, and art, the Romans celebrated these animals not just as symbols, but as living embodiments of the values that defined their civilization. The wolf's presence in Roman spirituality reminds us that, for the ancients, the natural world was never just a backdrop. It was a source of inspiration, a mirror of human ideals, and a reminder of the sacred bond between humanity and the earth. As we explore the role of wolves in Roman mythology, we're reminded of the enduring power of these ancient symbols. Their story invites us to reflect on our own relationship with the natural world, to see in its creatures not just animals but teachers and guides. The wolf, with its ancient ties to protection, resilience, and destiny, remains a powerful symbol of the mysteries and majesty of life itself. In the quiet temples and lush landscapes of Buddhist traditions, elephants have long stood as majestic symbols of wisdom, compassion, and the profound teachings of the Buddha. These gentle giants, with their immense strength and serene presence, became more than just animals. They were living embodiments of spiritual virtues, their symbolism woven into the very fabric of Buddhist rituals, art, and philosophy. But what made elephants so central to Buddhist spirituality? The answer lies in their remarkable qualities, their intelligence, their gentle nature, and their deep sense of community, traits that resonated deeply with the core values of Buddhism. One of the most iconic representations of elephants in Buddhism is the story of the Buddha's birth. According to tradition, the Buddha's mother, Queen Maya, dreamed of a white elephant entering her side, a sign that her child would become a great spiritual leader. This white elephant, a symbol of purity and divine favor, became a powerful metaphor for the Buddha's transformative teachings. The elephant's presence in this story wasn't just symbolic, it was a reflection of the qualities the Buddha would come to embody: wisdom, compassion, and the ability to carry the weight of the world's suffering with grace and strength. This connection between elephants and spiritual enlightenment is further emphasized in Buddhist art and iconography. Statues and paintings often depict elephants as guardians of temples, their serene expressions and majestic forms representing the stability and calm needed to walk the path of Dharma. In some traditions, elephants are shown supporting the cosmic pillars that hold up the world, their strength a reminder of the Buddha's teachings as the foundation of a meaningful life. These artistic depictions weren't just decorative, they were spiritual tools designed to inspire mindfulness and reverence for the natural world. Elephants also played a central role in Buddhist rituals, particularly in temple processions. In many Buddhist countries, elephants were adorned with ornate decorations and paraded through the streets during festivals, their presence elevating the ceremonies to a grander, more sacred level. These processions weren't just displays of beauty, they were acts of devotion meant to honor the Buddha and to remind participants of the interconnectedness of all life. The slow, deliberate movements of the elephants mirrored the meditative pace of spiritual practice, encouraging those who witnessed them to approach life with patience and mindfulness. The symbolism of elephants extends beyond their physical presence. In Buddhist texts, elephants are often used as metaphors for the mind. Just as a wild elephant must be tamed and trained, so too must the mind be disciplined through meditation and ethical practice. This analogy highlights the importance of self-awareness and inner transformation, core principles of the Buddhist path. The elephant's ability to carry heavy burdens with ease also serves as a reminder of the strength and resilience required to navigate life's challenges with compassion and wisdom. But perhaps the most profound aspect of the elephant's symbolism in Buddhism is its connection to the idea of interconnectedness. Elephants, with their strong social bonds and deep emotional intelligence, embody the Buddhist belief in the interdependence of all beings. Their presence in rituals and art serves as a reminder that every action, no matter how small, has an impact on the world around us. This perspective encourages a sense of responsibility and compassion, values that lie at the heart of Buddhist teachings. The Buddhist reverence for elephants reveals a profound understanding of the natural world's spiritual significance. Through their art, rituals, and texts, Buddhists celebrated these creatures not just as animals, but as teachers, guiding humanity toward a deeper understanding of wisdom, compassion, and the interconnectedness of all life. The elephant's presence in Buddhist spirituality reminds us that, for the ancients, the natural world was never just a backdrop. It was a living, breathing part of the divine, a source of both inspiration and insight. As we reflect on the role of elephants in Buddhism, we're reminded of the enduring power of these ancient symbols. Their story invites us to consider our own relationship with the natural world, to see in its creatures not just animals, but reflections of the spiritual qualities we aspire to embody. The elephant, with its ancient ties to wisdom and compassion, remains a powerful symbol of the mysteries and majesty of life itself. In the intricate tapestry of Hindu spirituality, serpents coil as powerful symbols of transformation, energy, and the divine mysteries of the universe. Far from being feared, these creatures are revered as sacred beings, embodying the potent force of Kundalini energy, the coiled, dormant power believed to reside at the base of the human spine. This energy, when awakened, is said to rise like a serpent, unlocking higher states of consciousness and spiritual enlightenment. At the heart of this symbolism is the god Shiva, often depicted with a serpent draped around his neck, its presence a reminder of his mastery over both creation and destruction. But what is it about serpents that made them such profound symbols in Hinduism? The answer lies in their ability to embody the dualities of life, their slithering movement representing the fluidity of existence, and their shedding of skin symbolizing rebirth and renewal. Serpents are deeply woven into Hindu rituals and practices, their presence felt in everything from yoga to temple architecture. In yoga, the concept of Kundalini is central to many traditions, with practitioners striving to awaken this serpent-like energy through meditation, breathwork, and physical postures. The journey of Kundalini rising through the chakras is often described as a serpent uncoiling. Its ascent a metaphor for the spiritual awakening that leads to self-realization and unity with the divine. This connection between serpents and spiritual transformation isn't just symbolic, it's experiential, offering practitioners a tangible way to connect with the deeper currents of their own consciousness. Temples, too, are alive with serpent imagery, their forms carved into walls, pillars, and altars as guardians of sacred spaces. The serpent's presence in temple architecture isn't merely decorative, it's deeply intentional. In many Hindu temples, serpent deities or nagas are honored as protectors of the earth's treasures, their coiled forms symbolizing the hidden wisdom that lies beneath the surface. Temples dedicated to Shiva often feature lingams encircled by serpents, their presence a reminder of the god's role as both destroyer and regenerator. These sacred spaces become portals to the divine, their serpentine motifs inviting worshippers to reflect on the cyclical nature of existence and the transformative power of spiritual practice. The mythology of serpents in Hinduism is equally rich, with stories that highlight their role as both nurturers and destroyers. One of the most famous tales involves Vasuki, the king of serpents, who played a pivotal role in the churning of the ocean of milk, a cosmic event that brought forth the nectar of immortality. Vasuki's willingness to serve as the rope in this divine endeavor underscores the serpent's role as a mediator between the gods and humanity, its sacrifice ensuring the balance of the universe. Similarly, the serpent Shesha, who serves as the resting place for the god Vishnu, embodies the idea of stability and support, his coiled form a symbol of the infinite cycles of time and creation. But perhaps the most striking aspect of the serpent's symbolism is its connection to the human experience. In Hinduism, the serpent isn't just an abstract concept, it's a mirror reflecting the inner journey of every individual. The awakening of Kundalini energy is often described as a deeply personal process, one that requires discipline, devotion, and a willingness to confront the shadows within. The serpent, with its ability to shed its skin and emerge renewed, becomes a metaphor for this transformative journey, its presence a reminder that spiritual growth is both a challenge and a gift. The Hindu reverence for serpents reveals a profound understanding of the natural world's spiritual significance. Through their myths, rituals, and art, Hindus celebrate these creatures not just as animals, but as sacred guides, their symbolism a testament to the transformative power of spiritual awakening. The serpent's presence in Hindu spirituality reminds us that, for the ancients, the natural world was never just a backdrop. It was a living, breathing part of the divine, a source of both fear and reverence, destruction and renewal. As we explore the role of serpents in Hinduism, we're reminded of the enduring power of these ancient symbols. Their story invites us to reflect on our own spiritual journeys, to see in their coiled forms not just creatures of the earth, but reflections of the divine energy that flows through us all. The serpent, with its ancient ties to Kundalini and transformation, remains a powerful symbol of the mysteries and majesty of life itself. From the sacred cats of Egypt to the revered elephants of Hinduism, animals have always held a profound place in the spiritual tapestry of ancient cultures. They were more than mere symbols, they were living bridges between the human realm and the divine, embodying the mysteries, powers, and wisdom of the gods themselves. Through rituals, myths, and daily practices, these creatures became essential partners in the spiritual lives of ancient peoples, shaping their understanding of the cosmos and their place within it. What makes this connection so fascinating is how universal it is. Across continents and civilizations, from the deserts of Mesopotamia to the jungles of Mesoamerica, animals were seen as sacred intermediaries. Whether it was the soaring eagles of Greece, the protective jaguars of the Maya, or the wise serpents of Hinduism, these creatures carried messages, offered protection, and symbolized the forces that governed life and death. This shared reverence reveals a deep, almost instinctual understanding of the natural world as something not separate from the divine, but intrinsically connected to it. By exploring these ancient practices, we gain more than just historical insight. We uncover a worldview that sees humanity as part of a larger, interconnected web of life. The rituals surrounding these animals weren't just about worship, they were about harmony. They remind us that our ancestors saw themselves not as rulers of nature, but as participants in a sacred balance. This perspective offers a powerful lesson for our modern world, where the divide between humanity and the natural environment often feels stark and unbridgeable. As we reflect on these ancient traditions, we're reminded of the timeless bond between humans and animals, a bond that continues to inspire and guide us today. Whether it's the comfort of a pet, the awe of encountering wildlife, or the symbolic power animals hold in our stories and dreams, this connection remains as vital now as it was thousands of years ago. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the spiritual landscapes of the past. If you found this exploration as enlightening as we did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the mysteries of history. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and remember, sometimes the most profound truths are hidden in the stories of those who came before us.